You're live.
Hi, welcome to AirPlay21, moving into 22. We got a new look and a new exciting lineup for you this year. And I'm here to introduce our wonderful, lovely co-host, Carrie Wesolowski, and a really cool play, NERISSA'S QUEST by Rachel, Rubin, Ladutke, and Carrie's going to tell us a little bit about that, Carrie.
Hi, Connie. Yes, I'd love to tell you a little bit about the playwright and the players and the play today. Our playwright is Rachel Rubin Ladutke. She recently returned to writing after a too long hiatus, and she is determined to make up for lost time. She's deeply grateful to her theater family for their support and encouragement, and she looks forward to a productive, fun, and creative summer. Rachel's delighted that NERISSA'S QUEST is a part of AirPlay21, and she thanks Coni and Brandy for their interest in her work. And playing the part of NERISSA is LEXI OWGANG. LEXI is thrilled to be reading some of this beautiful play. Some recent favorite credits include Little Red Into the Woods, Anna in Spring Awakening, Elmer in Newsies, Elwood in Legally Blonde, Frederica in A Little Night Music, Annie in Annie, Dipper in Oliver, Shelley in Hairspray, Little Lucy, The Orphan Train. Lexi has performed in many children's plays with Studio Playhouse in Montclair. She's also a competitive dancer and has participated in the Paper Mill Playhouse Summer Conservatory program. She's currently a junior at Montclair High School. Playing the part of Fionnuala is MARISA DOLKART. MARISA has been an active member of the Northern New Jersey theater community since moving to the area from the Finger Lakes region of New York in 2002. She's currently a member of the Bergen County Players and the Players Guild of Leonia. She's a costume designer and stage manager whose costume designed dressed more than 24 shows, a Carrie Award nominee for costume design for The Man Who Came to Dinner, and recently ventured into lighting design. She's very excited to participate in NERISSA'S QUEST and honored to be a part of it. And next, we have Roan, SALKIN, who's playing the part of Shannon. Roan holds an MFA in acting from the Asolo Conservatory and has worked professionally at Radio City Music Hall and other regional and New York City productions. She's a co-founder of Eccentric Theater Company, a local theater company that she runs with her daughter, Veronica. She's performed locally with a number of companies and was fortunate to play characters from Violet in August Osage County to Betty Davis in Legends and Bridge. And playing the part of Roan today will be Kay Cook. Kay is happy to collaborate with Rachel Ladutke once again, having previously appeared in her original play, The Wickham Way. A New Jersey-based actress with a passion for musical theater and storytelling, Kay's been fortunate to work at a number of local theaters throughout the area. She most recently appeared this past weekend with Apricot Sky Productions in their September 11th original play festival, Catch the Morning. And now let me tell you a little bit about the play. And I will be the narrator today, just a quick note. But let me tell you a little bit about the play. NERISSA'S QUEST is set in the west of Ireland in the present day. When 13-year-old NERISSA'S mother, Roan, simply vanishes one day, NERISSA clings to her belief that she will soon return. Goaded by the taunts of her cousin Fionnuala, she decides to set off in search of Roan. Walking alone in the dark, NERISSA soon encounters Shannon, a mysterious storyteller who claims to be looking out for her safety. Shannon insists on joining NERISSA in her search. That night, NERISSA has an unpleasant experience with the contents of Shannon's bag and is then visited by Roan while sleeping. This summary brings us to the second half of our story. And now, the second half of NERISSA'S QUEST by Rachel Rubin Ladutke. Scene 3. Setting, the campsite, the next morning. At Rise, NERISSA is finishing a sandwich. Shannon is nowhere in sight.
Shannon, where are you?
Right here.
Aren't you hungry?
Not anymore. Would you like some nuts?
Do I look like a squirrel?
Suit yourself.
Is that all you eat? How do you stand it? Are you very poor?
And how do you stand being so rude?
I don't mean to be. I just say what I think, that's all.
Maybe you should try a different approach.
Like what?
Whenever you say something, stop and think first. You may decide it's a bad idea to say it.
That's the dumbest thing I heard. Nobody would say anything if they thought about it first.
Now, would that be so bad? I'll wager there'd be a lot less hurt feelings in this world.
Maybe so. Gammon, I'm tired.
What did you just say?
I said I'm beat. Sleeping on the ground is the worst.
No, before that.
Gamut? Oh, that's something Fionnuala and I do. We're not allowed to swear, but Dad won't get mad if we say something that rhymes. We've got a whole dictionary of them.
How resourceful.
Maybe I'll never be able to swear properly. It's a habit by now.
That would be no loss.
They are both silent. Far off, voices are calling NERISSA'S name.
It's Dan Fionnuala. Let's go.
They're worried for you, you know.
Yeah, but I don't want them to find me. Not yet. I had a dream last night, or maybe it was real. I'm not sure. All I know is Mum told me to come to the sea. So that's what I'm going to do. Come on if you're coming.
She grabs her blanket and backpack and runs out.
Will you not wait for me, child? Nerissa!
She grabs up her bag and takes off after NERISSA with surprising speed. End of Scene 3. Scene 4. Setting. The edge of the sea. Several hours later. The sounds are unmistakable. Waves splashing against the rocks, cries of seagulls, and another more distinctive creature, the seals. At rise, the stage is bare. NERISSA and Shannon are settled on separate rocks, looking off towards the sea.
The ocean. We're here. We made it.
Now what?
I'm not sure. Do you think we should just wait?
This is your adventure.
It's so deep. Look how high the waves are. What's that screaming noise?
Lear is angry today.
Who?
Lear, the great and powerful king of the sea.
As usual, I don't know what you're talking about. Where's all that screaming from?
Oh, that's the seals. Tide's coming in.
How do you know?
The sea's in my blood. And you should know this, too, for he's in your blood as well.
What are you on about? Mom, where are you? You told me to come here. Is this some kind of joke? Shut up, you stupid seals. I can't hear myself think.
Oh, show some respect, young one. This is their world. 'Tis we who are intruding.
The waves and the seals become much louder.
Shannon, look. The white one over there, it's coming over.
I see.
What's it doing? Can seals bite?
I had nothing to fear, child.
How do you know? What's it doing now?
Wait here.
You can't tell me what to do. I can even jump if I want to.
Nerissa, sit. Now. You're never to go near a seal while it's shedding its skin.
Let go of me, gammit. How'd you get so strong?
You won't move.
I won't move.
Shannon lets go, slowly. NERISSA reluctantly sits, continuing to stare off. Shannon walks towards the sea, holding a blanket. She tosses it off.
You might put that on. It's cold out here, you know, and you're no longer used to the air already.
What's happening? Oh, gross. Is it Shannon? Mom?
She rubs her eyes. The waves get louder still. Roan enters, dripping wet, pulling seaweed from her hair, wrapped in the blanket Shannon tossed.
Well, you found me.
Aye, we've been waiting. I'm going for a walk.
Oh, do not go far.
Sure, and I'll be back when I'm needed. We both know this day would come, Roan. Be careful.
They embrace tightly. Shannon exits.
Nerissa, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, how I've missed you.
What's going on? What are you?
'Tis a long way you've come, Ask me anything you wish, and I will tell you all I can.
You should have done sooner. Why did you leave?
I had to. Are you warm enough?
Like you care.
Nerissa, do not say such things. I do, of course, but no longer can I stay shut up in that cottage. It has nearly killed me.
You had no right to leave without telling me. How could you? And what just happened? Are you crazy or something? Am I going crazy? I thought I saw a seal, and then you were there?
No, love, you're not crazy. Not a bit. Has Shannon told you anything?
Nothing makes any sense. I know she's got to be crazy. She carries all kinds of weird stuff with her. I swear she's got an animal in there. It looked dead, then it started grabbing me.
Do you have any idea what that was? Do you remember it?
Should I?
Perhaps. You were born with it. Nerissa, I should have told all of this to you sooner, but your father would not have it. He did not want you to...
Told me what?
I should have not obeyed. There are many stories of the Selkies.
Selkies. What are they?
People of the sea. Seal people.
That's daft. Like Shannon's nonsense.
Not a bit of it. You think so, do you? But it's true, they do exist. I know this to be true. Nerissa, I am one of those Selkies.
You're what?
A Selkie. My father was fully a seal, and my mother fully human. Da raised me mostly in the sea. Mum married a human and had another little girl. From time to time I'd come to shore and shed my seal skin and see my human family. One day I went to sleep on the sunny sand, my skin by my side, but when I woke it was gone. A young man came to me and kissed me. He said he had me skin, but what he really wanted was my heart.
Dad said that.
He did, of course. He was a city boy, but he came to live by the sea. I never knew where my seal skin was, so I was in his power. All the same, we were in love. We were very happy for quite some time. When you were born, you were wrapped in a tiny seal skin of your own. I worried he would hide that as he did mine. I wasn't about to let anyone control your future, my daughter. So before he saw you, off it came, quite easily. You're only half Selkie, you see. 1/4 seal. I wrapped your skin in canvas to keep it moist, and I sent it away for safekeeping.
Where is it now?
You saw it last night.
That thing in Shannon's bag? But it's the same size of me, and why is it so big now? How come she's got it? And why didn't you ever tell me any of this before?
One thing at a time, love. I've known Shannon all my life. You can trust her. Your skin doesn't stop growing just because you're not in it. As you get bigger, it does too.
Why does it stick to me like that? I don't like it.
Because it belongs on you. It's trying to get back where it comes from. You're one with it.
No, I'm not. I'm a girl, not an animal. This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Some things you just have to take on faith and believe the words of those who came before.
Why?
Because sometimes it's all you have. However will you go ahead if you don't know your own story? There are things that cannot be explained in a way that makes sense to ordinary creatures. But you, Nerissa, you're not ordinary. You saw me change form before your very eyes. I am half seal. So are you 1/4 seal, and your cousin Fionnuala is fey, like her mother before her. Rasheen, too, had that gift. And all of this is true, whether you like it or not.
Maybe you shouldn't be talking to me like this. Dad wouldn't like it.
He would not. Once you were born, he changed completely. Seamus has always feared we both would leave him someday. He knew I'd have to, but if ever I found my skin, much as I love you both, that day has come.
Well, if I'm part seal too, then I want to come with you. I can do that, right?
You cannot just decide such things. You'd need work, training, lessons.
What sort of lessons? I already know how to swim. You know I'm a great swimmer.
It's not that simple, and your father needs you.
No, he doesn't. He never even talks to me. And before you left, you stopped talking too. You just stared into space all the time, and sometimes you cried. Just one tear, that's all.
You noticed that?
I did, of course. I want to come with you, please, Mum.
You're too young to make such a choice. You must be strong and be kinder to Fionnuala too. You need each other.
Will you still talk to me?
Every night. All you have to do is listen carefully. Oh, love, I wish you could understand.
Whoosh! The seals. They're talking to you, aren't they? What are they saying?
Did you understand what I whispered in your ear last night?
Sure, you told me to come to the sea. That's how I know where to find you.
Then you understand the song of the seals. As well you ought to. They were your first lullabies.
You never did. I don't remember.
Always you'd turn your head and smile at me, even if you were crying an instant before, as soon as you heard the language of the seals. Oh, come to the sea where you can be free, in the realm of the ancient lore. Just close your eyes and see the moon rise on the seals swimming by the lee shore.
Away.
Away with all worries, all tears and all woes. Your troubles will grieve you no more.
When your dreams can roam in the waves and the foam with the seals swimming by lee shore.
You do remember. You'll see how it feels to run with the seals in the tides of the briny blue bay.
And follow along to sing the seals a song on the rocks in the sun and the spray.
Away with all sorrows, be gone with all cares. Your home never seems far away. Yes, come to the sea where now you're free with the seals in the briny blue bay.
I didn't know I knew that. I never thought I heard it before. But you stopped singing it. Why?
Your father heard me and he got very angry. Seamus forbade me to tell you anything about my past and I gave in. I made a mistake. And still he took us away from this water, my life force. I stayed as long as I could, love. My time on land was borrowed and it has come to an end.
But, Mum, I need you. Don't you care about us?
You are most important to me, but 'tis to the sea I belong, and to the sea I must now return.
Mum, can I see you sometimes?
I will always be right here, wherever you hear the song. 'Tis with you I will be, I promise.
And you'll come back sometimes?
I cannot stay, but I will watch out for you, always.
And when I'm older, what if I still want to come with you? What then?
Well, the choice will be yours, but this is not the time.
Then I'll be all right, I guess.
They embrace.
Shannon, it is time.
What do we need her for?
I want her with us. You'll see why.
Shannon enters.
Would you not tell us that story again before I go?
Which story would that be?
Go on now, you remember?
I do, of course. Nerissa, do you know the story of King Lear?
She does not.
Roan, how did you get this far with a child and her not knowing where she came from then?
Seamus would not hear of it. I should have persisted.
I'm not going to listen to any more stupid stories.
One more at least, and I'll take part in telling it.
Go on then.
She sits very close to Roan, who embraces her.
But King Lear was a rich and powerful man, the god of the sea and father to many. But best of all, he loved the queen of his old age and their children. The eldest was Fionnuala.
Fionnuala. Like my cousin.
Aye, very like. And she was followed by three boys, Con, Fekra, and Hugh they were. And they were the happiest of families for a time. But then, to their sorrow, the queen died. Their bright days turned at once to darkness. Lear mourned the queen deeply, as any of them, but he saw that his children needed a mother's hand to hold. He married the queen's sister, thinking that she would love the children as he did, for who could not?
But, far from loving the children, Aoife was offended by her husband's devotion to them. She became consumed by jealousy and hate. She began to hatch a plan, and one day she brought the children to a far-off lake. She intended to drown them, but at the last minute, she cursed them with an even crueler fate. She turned them into swans and declared that they would live 900 years in that form. And her eyes filled with glee, she returned to the castle alone.
Aoife had cast a powerful enchantment, but she left the children with their powerless speech. She declared they would sing plaintive songs without equal. When she returned to Lear, he demanded to know the children's whereabouts. Aoife denied any knowledge, so Lear set off in search of them. He compelled Aoife's coachman to bring him to the lake where they had last seen.
The moment Lear heard the swan's beautiful song, he recognized his children's voices. Fionnuala spoke with her father and told him the entire sad story. He returned to Aoife bent on revenge. Using his own terrible powers, he transformed her into a demon of the night. She would never again rest, but was forced to fly through the night for all eternity. But with all his powers, he had no way to save his beloved children.
After 300 years, the time came for the swans to go to the cold and cruel lands of the north. One night, the weather became so intense that their feet froze to the ice. They prayed for an end to their plight. Their pleas were heard, and from then they were protected from storms and bad weather. When their time ended in that place, they returned to the land of their birth, only to find it desolate and abandoned. And they mourned the loss of their home and family with fresh grief.
They remained at the lake, where people came from far and near to listen to the swans singing, and the music calmed and delighted all who heard it. Eventually, a queen heard the account of the swans and demanded that her king get the swans for her. The king himself came and attempted to grasp the swans, but on his touch, their feathers fell off, revealing 3 very old men and an old woman, fleshless with age.
A holy man had come in search of them to offer his blessing. Fionnuala asked him to baptize and to bury them. She said to him, "Place Con on my right side and Fiacra at my left, and you before my face, as they were when I sheltered them on many a winter night." The holy man honored this request, and he did mourn them for the rest of his days.
Roan hugs Nerissa and Shannon in turn.
It was nice to hear that again.
She slips away quietly during the following.
It's so sad and real, the way you tell it. It's hard to believe it's all lies.
It most certainly is not. Have you learned nothing? Your mum is a direct descendant of King Lear. All the creatures of the sea are the children of Lear, and so are you.
What? But he wasn't real, was he? He couldn't have been.
As real as you and me.
A king. A real king was my great, whatever. Wait till the kids at school hear this.
The Children of Lear was your mother's favorite story when she was a little girl.
How did you know that?
I told you. I had 2 daughters. Their names were Roan and Roisin.
Mum and Fionnuala's mum. You're my grandmother, but Shannon, you're not daft. A little strange maybe, but Dad always said Mum's family was daft, a lot of them.
Oh, he did he? Well, Seamus has nothing to boast about there. If I'm daft, then his kin are downright... Do you want to say farewell?
Mum?
Hurry now and be careful.
Nerissa notices Roan is gone. She runs to the edge of the sea.
Goodbye, Mum. I'll listen for you. I love you.
A series of splashes are heard, and seals barking in the distance, growing ever fainter. Nerissa stands, listening intently. After a minute, her face begins to work. She hugs Shannon tightly, trying to choke back tears.
She's gone. She's really gone.
Oh, hush now.
Why did you never come to see me?
And how do you know that? Ha. Oh, of course. You know everything, I suppose.
Well, no, but I mean, I never saw you.
That's not the same now, is it? Nerissa, I have known you since the day you were born. I held your sealskin. I watched you grow. Fionnuala as well. Your father has his faults, and he forbade me to spend time with you. He didn't want me to be your grandmother, but I am nonetheless. Now Roan has left you in my care as well as your dad's, and things will change, I promise you.
Fionnuala enters. Shannon holds up a hand warningly, but she ignores it.
Finally. It's okay, Uncle Seamus. She's right here.
Oh, great. Where did you come from?
What do you think, you wretch? We drove over. I had a feeling. Never mind that. What's the big idea of running away like that?
I wanted to find Mum, and I did.
Hope it was worth having been grounded for a month. So where is she then?
Fionnuala, leave her be now. She's had a rough time of it all. I'll go talk with Seamus.
Why'd you have to come here anyway? Why can't you just leave me alone?
Maybe I was worried. You ever not think of that?
Yeah, right. Worried I might come home more like.
Oh, come on. I'll lay off you. Just this once, okay?
Nerissa doesn't answer. Fionnuala crosses to her.
You saw her then. She told you everything?
She doesn't love me enough to stay. She found her skin and off she went.
Not exactly. So she didn't tell you everything.
What are you talking about?
I was 10 when I found it. I didn't know what it was. I always heard stories. Sometimes I heard my mom and dad talking about in Roan, the seal woman. I didn't understand. But then they died and I came to live with you. You don't remember. You were only a wee thing.
I was 7, I remember. I didn't want you there.
You think I didn't know that? Neither did I want to be there, but Aunt Roan really tried to help. She'd let me stay home from school sometimes, and we'd play dress-up, write poems, and then to each other. One day she was out. I went to the attic to poke around, and I found this under the roof. Didn't know what it was, but it was tied up and all wet. It looked creepy. So I showed her when she came in. Asked her what it was. She didn't speak for the longest time. Then she told me to put it back where I found it and never tell anyone. I realized later it was her skin.
I don't understand. She said when she found it she could go back to the sea. It's all she ever wanted. And she did. She left.
Yes, but it was 6 more years she stayed with you, didn't she? I was so jealous. Your mom so much wanted to be with you, and mine was gone. Just like that. Muddy, stupid motoring accident. She'd been gone so long sometimes I don't even remember her face.
I don't want that to happen to me.
We won't let it happen.
I'm all on my own now. Just me, nothing special. Nobody to love me.
You're not, you don't have to be. And I think you're special. And Uncle Seamus loves you. You know that. And maybe we could be friends. We could try.
It's a bit late, don't you think?
Does it have to be? I remember once my mom told me she was sorry she never really knew her sister. We had more time together than they ever did. You think we could try? I'll never have a real sister. Because you're the closest thing. I just wish... Will you quit making fun of me?
For what?
You know, my visions. I can't help but have them. And they're so real, too. And usually right.
I know. I had one too.
You never did. When?
Last night, when I left the house, I had no idea where I was going, so I dreamt that Mum was calling me to the sea. And I did, and here she was. And Shannon talks to her sometimes. And they hear each other? I believe that. And Fionnuala, did you know that we had an actual king in the family? And swans and loads of sea people. And that's all true, too. Those stories are true.
A good many of them, yes. You never believed any of that before.
Well, it's hard to believe stuff unless I see it.
But that's not the way life is. You have to believe in something if you want to see it.
Or hear it. I understand that now. Deep down, I always knew there was something different about Mum. I didn't know what it was. I didn't want to. I hated the idea that we were odd.
Everybody's odd. Somehow or other. There's no such thing as normal, really.
So I guess being odd is as normal as you can get. Is Dad very angry?
Relieved, more like. You'll get off easy, I'd say.
Do you hear that?
What?
The seals, they're singing. You really don't hear that?
Not the thing.
Nerissa smiles and takes Fionnuala's hand.
Oh, come to the sea.
Lights fade. Curtain. Thanks for listening. Join us next week on AirPlay.